UDF presidential aspirant Musalia Mudavadi, his Ford Kenya counterpart Moses Wetangula and Cyrus Jirongo of the Federal Party of Kenya are talking unity, according to COTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli. We caught up with them at Wilson Airport upon arrival from a secluded meeting at the Maasai Mara. They have been campaigning against each other. They have been reading from different scripts as Western Kenya remains a divided region. But Atwoli says the talks are a sign of things to come.
To look into ways and means of making sure that Western region of this country, or Western province per se, politically speaks in one voice.
It is understood that the talks were informed by the realization that presidential aspirants from Western Kenya have a weak bargaining power in the emerging alliances given the scattered and disunified face of the region's leadership.
I was under pressure from leaders, from businessmen and friends from Central Province to engage political leadership for the purposes of finding a solution. So I've started with Western. I will be moving to Central Province, Luo Nyanza, Coast, Eastern, until we come up unified as a nation.
However, it is not clear whether the new initiative will yield positive results, especially regarding the sensitive issue of who to back for the presidency. The leaders are said to have agreed to embark on the talks from an equal footing with mutual respect for each other. The three presidential aspirants declined to speak on camera, choosing to let Atwoli do the talking. And how did he become the convener?
I have been for a long time under immense pressure from the elders, because I'm an elder in that community, women, youth, political activists, business community.
Earlier in the day, Vice President and Wiper Democratic Party presidential aspirant Kalonzo Musyoka said he welcomes talks among various leaders for the sake of forming alliances that can unite the country. He spoke after presiding over the dedication of the new buildings of Scots Christian University of the AIC Church in Machakos.
And this is it. I think the whole thing is to craft a country that you're going to be very proud of, so that elections coming next March will be free and fair.
Musyoka, who flew out of the country after a lunch meeting with Deputy Prime Minister Uhuru Kenyatta and Eldoret North MP William Ruto, says he has been in touch with the two. He is said to have talked to Ruto en route from London Saturday and asked whether he could seek power-sharing talks with Odinga. This is what he had to say.
No, nobody should be shocked at all, because personally that's what I stand for. And I'm so happy that other political leaders are beginning to practice what I've always preached. Kenyans should be able to reach out to each other so that election time is not stone-throwing time.
Meanwhile, Kenya National Congress presidential hopeful Peter Kenneth is not convinced that the new alliances are being formed in the interest of Kenyans.
If people practice poor leadership or are weak in leadership, even if they get engaged in alliances, it will still not hide their weaknesses.
The much-hyped debate on emerging alliances was sparked off by a meeting between Prime Minister Raila Odinga and URP presidential aspirant William Ruto last Tuesday, with details of what exactly transpired still scanty. Odinga's presidential secretariat has denied claims that the Prime Minister offered to pick Ruto as his running mate, and that any alliances the PM would engage in would have to be structured and themed along his reform agenda. Alex Chamwada for Sunday Live.